All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at kind of the next step of balancing equations, which is you have to take a word formula, like a word problem, and make that into an actual like formula equation and then balance that equation. It's just an extra step in the process. Okay. Okay, so when you get to the next kind of stage, what they're going to have is equations that basically look like this, right? So you have a word equation written out, or like a word problem written out, and you're going to have to make a formula out of that word problem and then balance that chemical equation, okay? If you have something like this, you have hydrogen gas plus chlorine gas makes hydrochloric acid, okay? So hydrogen gas by itself is not just H, it's H2 because hydrogen is diatomic, okay? And then plus chlorine gas, chlorine by itself is Cl2, it's diatomic. This reacts to make hydrochloric acid. And there's a bunch of ways you can remember what hydrochloric acid is. If you remember that chloride makes Cl minus, and then naming your anions to your acids. If it's an ide, like chloride, it becomes hydroic, so hydrochloric acid. This would be HCl. But, or you can remember that you have H, which has like a 1 plus, Cl, which has a 1 minus. So it would just be a 1-to-1 ratio, hydrochloric acid. Any way that you can remember how HCl bonds, that's good, okay? But now I have all of my actual chemical formulas, and now I need to balance them because I have, right, if I'm balancing Great Wall of China, I start with 2 hydrogens, I end with 1 hydrogen. 2 chlorines, end with 1. This is an easy balancing, right? We just put a 2 here. I have 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 chlorines, 2 chlorines. Good, okay? This is easy. Okay. Slightly more complicated one would be one like this. So this will be a single replacement reaction. You have zinc chloride, so it's a compound, plus aluminum solid, so plus like a single that's going to come in, be a home wrecker, break apart the zinc chloride. Then it's going to be aluminum bonded to the chlorine, so for aluminum chloride and zinc by itself. Okay, so first thing I have to do is get the actual correct chemical compounds. And this is why it's so important that you understand nomenclature, because if you don't know how to make zinc chloride correctly, then you can't balance the whole equation, right? Ugh. So zinc chloride, what I would do, honestly, is just write out the individual ions. So zinc has a 2 plus. Chloride is Cl with a 1 minus. Just write out the ions themselves. That way you can look at it and you can say, okay, 2 plus 1 minus. So this is going to be ZnCl2. Okay? And you won't accidentally say just, ZnCl or something. It happens. Don't let it be you that does that. Okay, so I have zinc chloride plus aluminum by itself, aluminum solid. So that's just Al. That's easy. Reacts to make my weird A's here. There. It look like an A. Reacts to make aluminum chloride. Again, I would actually write it out. So this is Al with a 3 plus and Cl with a 1 minus. You can see 3 plus 1 minus. This is going to be AlCl3. To balance that out, plus zinc by itself is just zinc. Okay, now I go around and actually balance. Okay, you can do Great Wall of China. You can see I start with 1 zinc, I end with 1 zinc, start with 2 chlorines, end with 3 chlorines. It's going to be a 3 here and a 2 here. 3 zincs. So I need 3 zincs here, 2 aluminums, 2 aluminums. Now I'm balanced. Okay. Honestly, the biggest mistake people make is they'll have zinc chloride, ZnCl2, and they'll say, oh, and I'm making aluminum chloride, so AlCl2, because there was a Cl2 on the left, so there has to be a Cl2 on the right, right? No. Okay. Boo. Don't let that be you. Okay. Actually, just take the time to write out the ions and make sure you're doing it correctly. Which would be like this double replacement reaction. Okay. So if you have copper 2 chloride, So Cu with a 2 plus and Cl with a 1 minus. Silver, Ag with a 1 plus, nitrate, NO3 minus. Copper 2, 2 plus, nitrate, 1 minus. Silver has a 1 plus and chlorine has a 1 minus, okay? Just take the time. How much did that take? I mean, 5 seconds, right? It's worth it to write out the ions to make sure you're doing your whole equation correctly. Okay, so now I can make the chemical formulas from it. 2 plus 1 minus, so this will be CuCl2 plus 1 plus 1 minus, so that's nice and balanced already. AgNO3. React to make 2 plus 1 minus, so I need 2 nitrates. So CuNO3, and I need 2 nitrates, so make sure you don't just put 2, otherwise you're saying you need 32 oxygens. That's not what you want. So put parentheses around your nitrates, so you're saying you need 2 nitrates, okay? Plus AgCl. It's 1 to 1, okay? So now I have my correct actual chemical compounds. And now I go back through and balance the equation with my coefficients, okay? 1 copper on my reactants, 1 copper on my products. 2 chlorines, 1 chlorine. Okay, so I need double the amount of chlorines here. 2 silvers, 1 silver. I need double over here. Now I have 2 nitrates, and I have 2 nitrates. So everything's balanced, okay? Hopefully not too tricky. It's just adding one extra step that you have to go from the words to make the actual formulas to then balance the whole equation. Okay? Good luck.